Hello and welcome to the match between goofbrush and Yam. I apologize for the slight delay there. My mic actually crashed on me, so that was quite an interesting timing for it to happen since I was just in a Discord call. But anyways, yeah, we're going to be getting started here between Yam and goofbrush in the group stage of the tournament. Now, both of these players are incredibly good. Goofbrush is on paper the favorite, but you never know. Yam can pick all sorts of wild things, right? And we're starting here on Malistaire 100. Not the track that I actually expected to have happen as the first track, but we're here nonetheless. I guess Yam is maybe hoping for Goof to crash because Goof is very strong on this track, and I do mean like incredibly strong. He has the second or third best time here. I believe second best. Let me double check that. I don't want to be spouting misinformation. Yes, second best time on Malistaire 100 with a 144.145. It doesn't really get much better than that. All right, looks like we're about to have the race begin here, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Yam is getting going. And Goof is going. It should be coming through. Yeah, good enough. Yam hit a track lap timing that beat Goof's last several attempts. You know, it might be that Yam is just willing to play riskier. Oh, he's gonna underheat there if he does that, though. I don't know what Yam was thinking. Maybe a little bit of nerves got in there, not boosting when he should have been. But Goof and Yam both make it through the first hairpin, the kind of key feature to this track. And Goof coming in about 4/10 ahead, but actually on similar heat. Yam might have caught up on heat a little bit here, evening things out. I think Yam is trying to play riskier than Goof on the whole, but both are doing very well regardless. Yam once again. Oh, Goofbrush dying! And suddenly Yam is definitively in the lead. And he makes it through the second hairpin cleanly. Now we have ourselves an interesting match. Because Goof is the #1 overall seed coming out of qualifying, and Yam is the 4th, so this would be quite the big upset if Yam could actually pull this out. Alright, let's see how he handles it. Yam coming up here. Still taking the fast train. Not the best with his heat level there, but it's going to be okay. He doesn't have to be the fastest. He just has to survive this hairpin and not crash on the last straight. And it looks like Yam is going to be taking race 1. In a turn of events, he gets a 146.27. An incredibly strong tournament time. And Yam will be taking the first race. Wow. I did not see that one coming. And Yam lost a little over 3 seconds, most likely, from that crash. So he most likely would have won had he not died. But regardless, this is truly, truly a great first race. And honestly, I'm very impressed by Yam's racing there. Did I say Yam would have won? I meant Goofbrush if I did. But yes, Goofbrush would have won if he had not died. Alright, so we have 3 permabands already coming in. We have Boon to Training Course coming in from Goof. Grabvine Gateway coming from Yam. Bumpy's Breakers from Goof. And we're just waiting on the last permaband from Yam here. And Fire Mountain Rally from Yam. I think those are the same ones as he used against me. To answer your question, R20 is in fact the best for M100. In fact, it's actually the main track that we do minimum traction on. So 24 FPS being the minimum FPS and also the slipperiest traction combined with the minimum traction upgrade because of that hairpin. All right, we have a temp band racer of Rats Tyrell. Probably a little bit of a throwaway band there, if I had to guess. Yam banning the Bunta Classic as his next temp ban. Spice Mine Run. Looks like that's going to be the track. And no forces, no other pod bans. Spice Mine Run has been selected. This track is deceptively difficult to get good lines on, which honestly I think is why Goof has selected it, because he knows the track better than Yam does. Goof is one of 3 people on the leaderboards that have a sub 3 minute and 40-second time, and getting anything below 3:41 even takes a large understanding of the track. I'd be very surprised if either of them got that sort of time, like below 3:41, but it's not outside the realm of possibility. So this will be a Ben mirror. Goofbrush, unsurprisingly, going to be sticking to meta picks most likely, because Goof, again, is the favorite on paper when you look at meta picks. But that does not mean that he is necessarily going to win, right? Because as we just saw, he might have been a favorite by a decent margin for Malstar 100, but he did die. And he has been prone to dying recently. I should clarify that by when I say recently, I mean in his previous matches. He's been dying a decent amount. I don't know if he's been doing bad on his own picks, so hopefully he feels ready for this. Now, there are a couple interesting factors when it comes to Spice Mine Run. For one, there's this fast train section that Goofbrush is currently on. So you don't want to be boosting on that because it's going to be increasing your base speed without you having to do anything. And another thing is, depending on your pace, you can have different timings for these vehicles that move around as obstacles on the track. Goofbrush just went past one, the mine cart as it was. And another one is the dozer closer to the beginning. And yeah, like I said, depending on your pace, those can be an issue and they can cause you to die. So you got to really be careful and know exactly what to do at the beginning, because you can manipulate the timings by having the cutscene of Ben playing. Oh, Yam dying in practice. But it looks like both players are ready. So the countdown has been given and we should see both players going off relatively soon here. Now, I would expect Goof to probably be more consistent here, and also faster, so it'd be quite the race upset to see Yam win. Then again, I thought that on M100, so I've been wrong before. These players are both incredibly good. 343 should be very consistent for Goof, and if it isn't, honestly, I'd be very surprised. You can almost get the 343, like a high 343, if you're on a good pace and die, right? So if Goof can't get that without dying consistently, I'd be very shocked. Now, I'm going to guess he's aiming for a 341. Yam, maybe a 342 is what he's capable of. I'm not sure. There's a lot of times that we don't know about Yam. Alright, we have both players going off here. Looks like Goofbrush got a little bit of a head start there. By about 2.5. Oh. There we go. That's good enough. That's workable. Alright, so did you see that little bit of a hint of a crane dozer looking thing? That on lap 3 can be an issue depending on what pace you're on. You know, I'm gonna adjust it slightly more. It's bothering me. I like being able to tell very directly. There we go, that's better. Alright, both are coming down the long... Oh! Yam dying on the cart! Not something you see every day on lap 1, but that's not good news for him. Goof can now afford a little bit more than death, most likely. Especially since Yam died in a terrible place to die, since it's really difficult to use all your boost in these sections. Like, that's honestly a really bad death for him. He's gonna lose upwards of 5 seconds just from that, if I had to guess. Goofbrush coming in with a pretty clean lap 1 here, maybe underheating a little, but doesn't really matter compared to Yam. A 115.1. He lost probably 7 tenths or so. Yeah, Yam coming in over 5 seconds behind. A little bit, actually, relatively the same heat level since Goof was already on really low heat. Man, that's horrible for Yam. And yeah, I'm really trying to do these extremely long boosts, but not managing his heat properly, if you had to ask me. I would say that he does not know the boost patterns of Spice Mine Run well enough to compete with Goof here. And Goof isn't playing too risky. He's doing some riskier movements that people should honestly learn from him, but he's playing relatively safe. Giving himself plenty of room with the walls and just making sure he's doing the consistent strats. Alright, Goof coming up to the last section, one of the most deadly sections because of these jagged corners, but he seems to be handling it very well since he's playing really wide in that section specifically. Yam also in that section. Goof coming in with a 113.5. Pretty good pace for lap 2 given what he's been doing, and Yam losing another 1.5 seconds almost on lap 2. And that's just from his mistakes. So this is clearly a very unfamiliar track for him. He's trying to maximize his boost timing to such a degree that he's been underheating a decent amount, and his lines aren't nearly as refined as Goof's here. It would take probably a death and a half or so for Goof to really be in trouble here. Alright, Goof coming up to the final section again. This tunnel is very difficult to use enough boost. Ooh, takes a bonk, but it's not going to matter. Decent heat, not great, but workable. And it's going to be a 342 from Goofbrush. Why did my tracking thing die? No! My links. Hold up. I gotta reopen that apparently. There we go. Alright, it's now 1-1. Given the death, Yam didn't do too horrible, but he definitely was, you know, behind on pace there. Alright, we're getting a temp banned pod of Juan Sandage from Yam. Now, Juan is pretty infamous for being great at skips. Specifically, he has a couple tracks that he's just straight up the best on, being Abyss and Doug Derby. And he's very consistent as a pick for Bunta Training Course skip as well. So we'll have to see what Yam is planning here. It might be a bait. Could be. Goof banning Doug Derby. Not a bad pick. It's on the list of tracks that Juan would be very good at. And Yam is also good at the full track. So it's not a bad pick regardless. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that even though Yam has great counter picks most likely, he does have to win without at least one force point on one thing. And Dobie Mountain Run skips. Ben Quadinaros allowed. What a pick. Now, this could go one of two ways. Either one, Yam has a setup he feels very confident in for the skip, or he's trying to bait Goof into doing the skip, because this skip is a lot of risk for not a lot of reward compared to just doing really good on the track. It's hard to put into words how difficult this skip can be to do consistently under pressure. Now, you can do the skip moderately consistently, maybe in an IL situation if you have a really good setup, but Man, doing this in tournament, that's gonna be something else. I'm not really sure what to expect, if I'm being honest, because there's so many different ways that this could go. It's kind of hard to think, oh yeah, the advantage is definitively in one player's court. Now, one thing I will say is that Goof is most likely better at the full track than Yam. That's just, I mean, Yam doesn't have a lot of times posted, and I tend to assume that if he doesn't have it posted, that he's probably not very happy with it. And, oh my gosh, he's doing that skip? He's doing that skip? No shot, man. That's the one he's going for? Okay, so for those who don't know, there's actually two early skips that we don't generally associate with Andobi Mountain Run. One of them is the one that we generally think of as the Howler Gorge skip, because it's like he would be ridiculous to do on Andobi Mountain Run since you need to use really low traction. And the other one is the bridge skip, which is what Yam was doing. So you jump from here, right at the end of the bridge, all the way through the through the cave. He didn't get it either times. I really hope he doesn't try to go for that, because that cannot be consistent enough, man. I hope that was just like for the sake of us watching here. And Goof opting not to do the skip, I think that's a very smart decision, and I hope he sticks to that plan, because it's such a risky play to go for the skip. And it looks like Goof is going to be running around 600 canyons, ignoring the bonks. 600 is not bad a speed. Not the best, but not a bad one. Alright, Yam going to be trying to show off the normal skip. Can he get it consistently? Oh, that setup looks good. I think he's going to be doing pretty good here. We have Yam at the ready, just waiting on Goof now. Not sure what happened to Goof in his practice run there, but hopefully he marks himself as ready so we can get this started. I'm very excited to see how this goes. Alright, countdown is now being given. Oh, I cannot wait to see who wins this one. Goof gonna have the better full track. Yam gonna be pulling out the skips. Ah, man. And it's 1-1, you know, like this is an even match. Okay, so to answer your question, you can use any upgrades technically, but you usually only lower your brakes or your traction, unless it specifically says no upgrades as a force. Additionally, you can pick any pod, but there's always better pods to pick. So like specific skips are better with some pods, specific full tracks are better with some pods. If you ban some pods, then you're going to get different mixes there as well. Alright, we're gonna jump Goof up a little bit since he had to sync last time. And then we're going to delay Yam slightly. And that should make us good. Yeah, it's not bad. So, oh, Yam, who gets it? It's the first skip! Oh my word, I cannot believe he pulled that off in tournament. That's actually absurd. And it's going to give him a very slight edge here. What an insane thing to go for in tournament. But he did underheat. He's not using his heat well enough here. So Goof might have a slight advantage before Yam gets the skip, if he gets this one. Oh, I don't think he has enough height. He's not going to make it. He doesn't get the skip. Now, he's not going to lose a lot of time from that. He's going to lose about 2 seconds from missing that skip. But Goof being so good at the canyon as he is, has extended that lead by a decent margin. With a sub 120 first lap in tournament and a 123.4. Oh no, Yam dying again on the 10th entrance. Oh man, you hate to see it. And suddenly, even if Yam nails every skip, it might already be dependent on Goof making mistakes. Which is not the world you want to be in if you're a Yam Yam supporter here. Goof gonna be coming up to his second canyon. He's actually a whole downslope of this like tunnel section ahead of Yam now. That's a massive lead. Alright, let's see what happens here. I'm not sure if Goof actually was prepared for this pick or not, but he's been looking pretty okay at it. Still running 600 canyons. Yam getting the skip this time though. I'm gonna give him back a little bit of time, but he's gonna lose it if he can't do these canyons well enough. That's the problem. And that's a 113.4, I believe that was. Very nice lap time from Goof. He actually is currently on pace to beat the tournament record, which is a 347. We'll have to see if he can keep this pace up. Ooh, a little bit sketchy there from Goof, but nothing too serious. I think Yam's issue is here that he's on such a low traction. Oh, Goof dying! A beam of hope has risen for Yam as he gains back some of his time. Not enough of it to get the lead back, but it's not nearly as bad off as it was. Goof no longer on pace to get the tournament record, but that's okay. Doesn't need that. Ooh. Goof looking maybe slightly nervous here, but still holding it together. Let's hope he can hold it together on the canyon here. Otherwise, we may see a comeback from Yam. Which, in all fairness, I'm also down for. Yam getting the skip again. Goof making it through the canyon. Takes a bad bonk. Oh, this is neck and neck. Goof has to make it out of here cleanly. And he's just gonna barely take it. Wow. Insanely close race. But that's a second win for Goofbrush. A 357.000. That's a pretty cool time to always have those zeros. But that was a great race. Wow. Both players putting on an absolute spectacle for us. And I love to see that every time. Alright, we have Ben Quadinaros, temp banned from Yam. See how Goof handles that. We give another Doug Derby ban. Looks like Doug Derby might just be a third permaban in a sense from Goof. Just trying to get it out of the way at all times. Goof just as shocked as all of us at the fact that Yam did the bridge skip. Really was interesting to watch. And Yam really could have won that in many number of ways. It could have not died on the tent, could have nailed the skip on this lap that he missed the skip. Could have gone for the bridge skip more than once. Not that I would have recommended that. Actually, I think he did go for it more than once, didn't he? Well, regardless, there was 3 deaths on his end and 2 on Goof's, so could have gone either anyway. Alright, looks like we have Mongaza Speedway, fastest lap, and no Ben Quadinaros. And we all know what that means. Yam is pulling out Elon Mack, and I'm sure Goofbrush is too. Elon Mac, by far and away the second best pod for this flap. Or fast lap, I should say, I guess. Getting as low as a 0.23 Yam has gotten with Elon Mac in the past. Now, that does require a very risky boost hold, but I'm going to guess that both of these players kind of prepped this because goofbrush most likely knew that this was a possible pick ahead of time. Now, they do have to make it so that we can actually see the fast lap time. Goofbrush has already prepared that for us, a blank file, but I think Yam still has to do it. Or he just did it, I'm not sure, but regardless, this should be very interesting. Now, we just had a Mungaza flap in the match between myself and King Bean Dip. So this is actually the second time it's been done, and I believe this makes it the first fast lap to have been done more than once in this year's tournament. Because this is the first year that we've introduced the fast lap force. So it'll be nice to actually have some more data. Oh, I think Yam is just now on stream fixing his file. They did look like it had a 0-second time, which is obviously not real. Alright, let's see how Goof handles this, though. You only have 3 laps, you don't have 5 like you normally would if you're doing fast lap grinding. And that means that you either have 2 opportunities to get a fast lap, or you just do it on lap 3. I'm not sure what Goof is going to be planning on doing. Might be just doing some warm-ups of the first turn, if I had to guess, because that first turn is kind of the key defining feature of the Elon Mac fast lap. And you can see Goofbrush failed the setup there, so did not work out for him. Now, we will take the fastest lap from any of their laps, so even if you mess up and both players do bad on all 3 laps, your best of those worst might be good enough still. Alright, there it is, the Elon Mac pick. Oh. Yam seems to be still fixing his stuff over there. I mean, I would say that Yam actually does have an advantage here, but I don't know by how much, because that depends on how consistent he is. Yam has the best Elon Mac fast lap time here, but okay. Yam's setup is so weird to look at. I don't even know how to process it half the time. But anyways, I was gonna say that I don't know if Yam has the consistency on that first turn. He must feel pretty good about it if he's actually choosing it. Either that, or it's kind of the underdog pick where you're worried that you don't have the picks, so you're just forcing it and seeing what you can do. Now, what is really unfortunate for Yam is that he did have his loss have a force on it, so he is not going to have any forces after this race. And that is not a good position to be in, since Goof has not used either of his. But both players are ready, so the countdown is being given as we speak. And we can see what happens live. Oh man, I really don't know what's gonna happen here. I'm not sure I'm gonna bother to sync this one, because it might be better to just see them desynced a little bit, since it's such a short track anyways, and such a short fast lap. Alright, I'm just gonna not mess with it, and we're gonna see what happens here. Yam getting started first by a small margin. But you never know what could happen between lap 1 start and the actual fast lap. Now, what I don't know is if Yam is going to go for... Oh, yeah, he's definitely just going for a third lap fast lap. Okay. Not sure what Goof's going to do. I think Goof is going to be... Oh, Goof doing good here. But he cancels it. What? Was that just a practice? Why would you do that in practice for the second lap? Okay, then. Alright, Yam coming up on the real fast lap. Goof also doing it. Oh, Goof loses the boost. If Yam can close this out. No, Yam dies! Oh, no! Oh, my gosh. Alright, well, they both cleared their files. And Goofbrush taking another race. That's really unfortunate. Oh, man. Yam had that one. Just straight up had that one. And he threw. That, you never like to see it. Yam is now out of forces. Had 2 races in a row where he could have won and he just didn't. We're gonna have to see what Yam can do in the full track no forces meta. Now, he doesn't mean that he can't ban Ben. He can do that. He can force Goof onto a secondary pod and make it a little bit more interesting. But who knows? Yam bans Bull's Roar. Looks like we are going to be having maybe a Ben mirror, or we're going to have a track that maybe it's questionable who they pick for tournament. Goofbrush banning Zaga challenge. Maybe not wanting to deal with... Actually, I'm not sure why he banned Zaga challenge. It's kind of a weird ban. Maybe just doesn't want to deal with the, with the full track there, I guess. And we are going to Doug Derby. The one time that Goof doesn't ban it, we're going there. So this should be a Ben mirror. Just Doug Derby. A very short and sweet track, but very complicated as well. Both of these players having a 131 of some kind, both in the higher region. So both very good. About the same skill level on this track, I would say. Now the real question is, who can do it in tournament under the pressure, right? And that we have yet to see. So far, Goofbrush has been leading in that department, but I would love to see at least a race 6. So hopefully Yam has been practicing this one, and then he has his stuff together. This track is famous within our community for being the clone of a real-life track. I believe it is Laguna Seca. So there's a lot of real-life parts to the track that we kind of like to name, and we have to thank Game Draco for kind of pulling that one into the commonplace of the tournament. Looks like Yam's going to be doing a tournament race. Just to reset his data back to being normal here. Because he did delete his file. So he's kind of got to go through and actually unlock everything again. Which, luckily, when you delete the save file, only requires a single race. In Mungaza Speedway, it's going to take less than a minute to get this done, so we'll just delay for a slight bit. Give me more time to talk about what I'd like to see out of this. So what I'd really like to see, if I'm being entirely honest, is I'd really like to see Yam pull this one out. Because I really want to see what Goof would pick against Yam. Oh, Goof dying on that corner, trying to play really risky there. Yam's screen kind of stuttering a bit. Hopefully that doesn't happen too much in the Doug Derby race. Oh man, Goof is having a hard time here. I'm not sure how practiced he is on Doug Derby. Doesn't seem to be very practiced right now. Still knows what he's supposed to do. The question is how consistently can he do it? And that's what we need to see from Yam here, is we're gonna need, oh, and Yam also dying. I was really hoping that Yam was gonna be like uber consistent here. Oh, Goof going right into the corkscrew. Yam taking a good first turn, so Yam saying he's ready. Just waiting on goofbrush now. Yam seems to have somehow fixed his stream. If there was actually issues with it, I'm not sure. Oh, Goof saying he's completely boned. What an attitude to go and do it with. Alright. Countdown is being given. I agree, Mikey. Goof does not look comfortable here. I'm not sure either player looks very comfortable here. A 35 lap one. No, that is not what you want to see at all. And then dies on the Andretti hairpin. Yikes. It seems Goof should have kept his ban strategy from earlier. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe he pulls it out in under the stress. Or maybe Yam cracks. We shall find out momentarily. All right, both players getting started here. This first boost is the scary one. Yam and Goof both cancel it, so kind of in the same boat there. Coming up to the infamous corkscrew, followed by the rainy curve, I believe it's called. Both relatively similar pace, but Yam has a slight lead, I would say. Lower heat, but it is very difficult to use all your heat. At 32.4 to 32.79, very good first laps from both players, although Yam is pulling out a little bit of a lead here. Oh, corkscrew is so scary to watch, man. Yam playing this with some risky lines. I hope he doesn't try to do that this third lap and crash. A 30.03 and a 30.75. The lead has grown for Yam. Let's see if he can hold it together. He's probably ahead by about a second. Oh, the first dies! We're gonna see a race 6 if Yam can close it out. Come on. Race 6. Race 6. Looks like Yam is holding it together, though. Made it through the corkscrew and rainy curve. Coming up on the last straight. The roll straight, if I'm not mistaken. And Yam takes it with a 132.85. What an incredible time. Wow. And goofbrush, a death and a 140.4. Not his strongest time, but that's okay. So we got ourselves a race 6 here. Maybe, possibly even a race 7. If Yam can pull an upset on Goof. But Goof does have both of his forces. So we might see something crazy here. You never know. Either Goof is going to try to pick something where he doesn't have to show his cards, or he's going to try to close it out right here, right now. We got Mars Guo coming in, banned from Goofbrush. Mars, kind of the track favorite. Well, the not literal track favorite, but the favorite for some skips. Not the favorite for any full track, but he could be trying to force Yam into a situation where he's not as comfortable with the pod choice. That can be done in tournament. Just ban some pods that people would be more comfortable with and force a weird pod. If I were Yam, I'm not sure what I'd ban. Because we could see something as crazy as, hear me out here, Inferno skips, fast lap, and you don't have Mars, so the fastest would be by far and away Bullseye. And Bullseye is actually the fastest, period. Yam banning Inferno! Oh, thank you, Yam. We don't have to deal with any of that shenanigans. But Yam is saying that he has a bad feeling about this. Not a great thing to have to say. It usually doesn't turn out too well when characters said that in actual Star Wars. Alright, let's see what Goofbrush has been cooking up for us. We're having a meta pick here. And in honor of everybody who doesn't want me to say it, we're going to drink to Dethrow's revenge. That is the pick today. I'm sorry, Lightning. I know I've betrayed you in your request to not say it. Now, a large portion of the community seems to think that Deathrows is actually the proper way to say it, and I have to disagree. I believe it is Dethrows. And no matter how much English logic you might throw at me, I'm going to disagree with you purely because I'm used to saying Dethrows. No, it's not a pun. It's not spelled the same. No, it can't. No, I refuse. Puns clearly have to be perfectly spelled. So, yep, it definitely has to be perfectly spelled. Can't be anything else. Nope. It's not Death Row. Come on. It's named after a guy. It can't be Death Row. I think it's named after it, right? Why do you even think it's Dethrows? I don't know. I just remember calling it that as a kid, okay? I don't know what to tell you. Okay, anyways, getting off that tangent. On paper, again, Goof is definitely the favorite here. He has a 206.8 without roof strats, and you're not going to see either of these players do roof strats in tournament. They're not that type of player, I would say. Well, maybe Yam is, but I don't think he's done any roof strats before. Yam dying in practice, not what you're going to want to see from our race 7 protagonist here. I hope I don't get banned. Like, no, come on. Roof strats, if done really well, you can save a couple tenths on the first 2 laps apiece. And you could theoretically save time on lap 3, but I don't think anybody's actually done it. Hey, Gale, you can't cancel what has already been canceled. I canceled myself in my head a long time ago, therefore I'm immune to being canceled. Goof practicing the out of bounds finish gets a nice timing on it. I'm definitely expecting Goof to take this one unless there's an unexpected turn of events with a crash, which is always entirely possible. Alright, looks like both players are ready. Let's get this race 6 down here. Doesn't do it in the actual lap too. Wouldn't that be the greatest and most iconic way to throw? You did the out of bounds finish on lap 2. That might even be more iconic than a couple of the moments we've had in the past, to be honest. Did somebody actually do it before? Oh my gosh. I'm not sure when we're going to see the actual race begin, but the countdown was given. Zalaskalar didn't. Oh my gosh. No, Zalaskalar. Okay, that wasn't the real race. Good, good. I got a little scared there for a second. I think this is the actual race, though. So Goofbrush getting started. And Yam has also started. Now, a couple things to look out for is this section right here where you drop down. That section in the dark gray tubes is fast terrain, which makes it a little bit harder to optimize your boost timings and lines. Goofbrush already has a small lead from some better lines and better boost management here. But that's not very surprising. Yam is definitely the underdog when it comes to doing the full track. Oh no, Yam dying! Oh no, now we're probably going to have to see more than just a crash worths of mistakes from Goof. And Goof coming in with a 43.57, not a bad first lap at all. And a 49.8 or something. It's hard to see with the bitrate of Discord. But yeah, not a good time with a death, but not the time that you need. And some underheating coming in from Yam. This lead is only widening. All right, Goofbrush coming into the, I guess, kind of ceiling section. Like, I don't really know what to call that section. We'll just call it the end hairpins, sure. And gets the jump, doesn't die on the jump, not doing the out of bounds skip on lap 2. Sorry, not skip, out of bounds finish, my bad. Yeah, that lead widened by about 2 seconds for Goof. He might have to die twice at this point for Yam to have a chance, which I would not say is very likely. Now, about the worst death that you could maybe have is dying right before the finish, but I don't really... Dying in this section and not having enough speed to do a good finish, but it looks like Goof is going to finish this up. Not the cleanest, but clean enough, maybe? Yep. And Goofbrush, gonna be our winner for today. Taking the win over Yam, 4-2 with a 208.095. Very nice time. All right. Let's see if we can get these guys in here for interviews. Welcome, Yam.
Hello.
That was certainly an interesting match. Welcome, Goof, and congratulations on your win.
Hello. Thank you.
Congrats. Well played.
Thanks.
Dude, I threw so hard. I'm upset.
Yeah, you lost both of your force points without getting a single actual point on the board there.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not what you want to see at all.
No, it's not.
What happened on MGS? Like, you didn't die, did you?
He did die,
I did
actually.
die. I died going into the hairpin.
After the second pillar, that left turn, he died on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
so he cleared all the difficult part and then died on the last difficult part.
Yeah, well, even my first 2 turns weren't that great. It was just like, that was a pick that I knew obviously came down to just like executing in like a split second, and then I just happened to fail to do that, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, you definitely had the advantage up until that point, because Goof did bonk and lose the long boost you're supposed to hold.
Yeah.
Right before the match, I was like, oh wait, I should definitely prep this. And then I tried it for like a second, and I couldn't. It didn't go down very well.
Did you get it in 2 boosts, or did you do a 3 boost kind of thing?
I can't even remember. It was so bad.
He held the boost to do it in 2, but bonked and had to do it in 3.
Yeah.
I see. Well, I mean, same here.
That was a different kind of bonk, though.
Yeah.
Now, I do
Okay.
want to talk to Yam. What was going through
Yeah.
your mind when you chose Andobi Mountain Run skips and did what you did? Because like you definitely could have won that one had you not died in one of the 3 times that you died. But man,
Yeah.
it's such a weird pick to go for, especially with the skips you did.
Yeah, that was something that I thought of about 45 minutes before the match, and then I tested to see. I had never done the actual bridge skip before, so I tested to see if I could do it, and I was like, I can actually do this pretty easily, and so I just figured, why not? Why not pick it?
Wait. Were you on 2420?
No, I was on 24-100.
That's still like really bad for Canyon, but
You see, that's the interesting thing about it, right? Because he was making up time every time he nailed a skip and losing it every time he went into the canyon.
Yeah, like I thought that was I actually really liked that pick because I thought that was funny because I know I'm bad at canyon because like I don't do that track,
yeah.
but I figured it would be really funny to win doing those skips and having really bad canyons.
Wait, did you nail the actual skip?
No,
He
see,
died one time.
yeah, I
One
died.
time.
I died one time, and then I died on my second lap 10 entry, which that was really unfortunate. I realized that like I wasn't. I mean, my setup's kind of complicated, but I wasn't all the way tabbed into my game basically, so my frame rate was kind of tearing, and I don't know. I'm gonna blame that for that 10th death, but yeah, I was just overall a little disappointed. Well, yeah, quite disappointed. I just failed to get the clutch stuff that I needed to.
I was playing
Yeah.
quite sloppy as well. I died like every time, and that Doug Derby was atrocious.
Oh man, your Doug Derby looked so rusty.
Yeah,
Honestly, Yam, you pulled out. I can't remember. Let me actually double check here.
it was like a 32.
Yeah, you got okay. So you got the tournament record for Doug Derby full track. So congratulations
cool.
on that. Yeah, you actually got it by 6/10.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so that was a very great time to get in tournament.
Yeah, I kind of scuffed that first turn too, so I'm glad that. Yeah, that's nice.
You both actually did the exact same thing where you didn't have a good angle and had to cut the boost.
Yeah. But
I don't know what I was thinking by not temp banning it, because I haven't done that track since we grinded it together.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I was just practicing it a little bit last night to de-rust, which is really it's all you need. But yeah, if you don't have that little bit of de-rusting, it's definitely tough.
Yeah, Doug Derby, very difficult to do on the fly, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you have to do it with bowls.
Yeah, I would not. That would have been no fun for me.
Bowls on that track is something else.
Yeah, but yeah, no, really well played. That yeah, you got me on Spice Mine. That was that's just that and Death Rows. Those are 2 tracks I like. Those are 2 giant holes in my game. I've just never done them really. And I waited out the cutscene to get the dozer in position, and then I crashed into it on lap 1 because I forgot that was where it would be on lap 1, or the minecart.
The minecart, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is it was funny.
My Spice Mine was quite weird. I remember the ending being really bad.
You did not have the greatest heat at the end there, yeah. And you bonked when you tried to hold the boost into the ending hairpins. You bonked on the left wall of the tube, so you couldn't hold that boost. But you were also playing relatively safe, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it was a good pick. Spice Mine, even for people who are practiced on the track, can be very difficult to do the actual good lines on, especially in a tournament situation. It's such a complicated track to try to do.
Yeah.
Very hard to understand the lines. So it's completely understandable that that's something you would pick against EM here, who, EM, you're very strong at a lot of things, but you obviously haven't grinded a lot of the, like, quote-unquote easier tracks for the optimized times, I would say, is kind of the hole in your game plan.
For sure.
Generally speaking, yeah.
Yeah, there's a number of tracks that are pretty big holes for me.
Yeah. Now, hopefully you can clean that up throughout the tournament, but Goof did get to have those 2 wins today. Now,
Yeah.
I do actually want to ask, what made you okay with Malistaire 100? Now, obviously you did win that track, Yam, but I did not expect you to leave it on the table.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just a track. That was one of the tracks that I grinded when I was learning the game, when I was like starting to get, halfway decent. And I never like grinded a serious time, but I've always like just felt comfortable on that track, and felt like I'm not gonna blow up. I'm not gonna do anything stupid on that track. So I was I was just fine leaving it there.
Interesting. And
I think for tournament it's like you just want to start on something that you don't think you're gonna explode on, because like that's what I think determines a lot of the first race winners a lot of times.
Yeah, having that level of consistency on the first track and feeling like, oh yeah, I can do that now, for sure. That is definitely play a big part. And winning the first track it can be a very big advantage, especially in matches that could have gone either way, like this one could have. So
yeah,
sense.
That's why I was especially frustrated there, having won that first track.
Yeah, it is always unfortunate to lose.
M100 it's one of my like comfort picks, and like I'm really consistent there. It's just I had the most awful death. I've died there before, but it's just so annoying to die there.
Yeah, where did you?
You died trying to go on the fast train, that like inside beam, right?
Yeah, it's like the inside. If you slightly graze the inside wall of the fast terrain, you just die. Like it's
right.
I don't even know why you die there. Like
yeah,
it's
no
just
ifs, ands, or buts. It's just you're dead.
Yeah.
I kind of even like to take that a bit wide on purpose, because I think like fast terrain, blah blah blah, can't be that bad.
That's true. Yeah, I was getting like low 145s like every time before the match.
Nice. Yeah, in warm-ups I didn't even finish one. I just was like, do I feel comfortable, and then so like go for it, which is kind of what I did on AMR. I mean, yeah, it almost worked out, but it didn't.
Yeah, this match really could have gone quite differently, pretty easily. Now, I am happy that it still got to race 6, though, because a lot of these matches have been pretty short this year. A lot of 4-0s and 4-1s, and there's only been a couple that have actually gone longer. So I'm happy that this one could also join that club, especially since you guys are both such great players overall.
Yeah, I was glad too, and I had a lot of fun despite dying on my own picks.
It happens to all of us sometimes.
Yeah. But yeah, no, seriously, well played, Goof. That was a good match.
Thanks. Good luck on your next match.
Thanks. Yeah, likewise. I think I just got Metallica and King Bean left, which I'm looking forward to both of those. It's gonna be fun.
I'm especially looking forward to you versus Metallica, because you and Metallica have like almost the opposite game plan a lot of times. Like the way I see you guys as tournament players, I see Metallica as just almost the pinnacle of consistent gameplay outside of maybe Mikey and Ace in the last 2 years. And then you are just like, you kind of remind me of how King Bean used to be looked at, where you just play generally a lot riskier or skip heavy or whatever you want to call it, right? You have very specific picks all the time.
Right. Yeah.
So it's such an interesting dichotomy that we're going to have in that match.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
But yeah, I believe the next match that we have scheduled here is going to be Zelaskalar and Magius, happening tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Nice.
So I hope that we can catch a lot of you there. Unfortunately, I will be missing that match because I will be working at that time, but sometimes that happens.
Yeah, that'll be good. Looking forward to it.
For sure. And once again, GG's to both players. Congrats again, Goof, on the win. And I want to thank you both for such a great match and joining me here today. I want to thank you to SpeedGaming. Having such a fun tournament every year it's always great to have our tournament through SpeedGaming, and it's been working out this year as well. So thank you again for letting us do it there, and thank you to everybody who's been watching. It's always entertaining to have the chat up when I have to say D throws. It makes it a lot more fun to be a commentator with such a great group of people in the Steam chat. But yeah, I hope to see everybody in the future matches, and may the force be with you.
GG's, see y'all.